In this video, I'm going to take a look at the change of variable technique for evaluating limits. And so I'm going to use this problem here in order to demonstrate how this technique is used. So the problem we have here is the limit as x approaches 1 of x to the power of 1 over 6 minus 1 over x minus 1. So when evaluating limits, the first thing you should always try to do is use direct substitution, which means you're taking the value of 1 here and you're just going to substitute it into x, and you want to see if that's going to give you a value that is defined. So if you end up getting an undefined value, you know that you're not able to use direct substitution to evaluate the limit. So in this case, if we substitute 1 into this expression, because the denominator we have x minus 1, so if we substitute 1 into x, we're going to get 0, so that's going to make this expression undefined, which means that we can't use direct substitution to evaluate this limit, so we're going to have to use something else. And so what we're going to use is we're going to use the change of variable. And so the way this works is we're going to replace x with a different variable just to make it easier to simplify this expression. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let u equal x to the power of 1 over 6. And in that case, if I raise u to the power of 6, and I also raise x to the power of 1 over 6 to the power of 6, I'm going to get u to the power of 6 is going to equal x. Okay, so the next step is now to look at this statement here. So it says as x approaches 1. So what we want to find out is what u approaches as x approaches 1. So if we look here, we can see that if we make x 1, u is also going to equal 1. So what we can write is we can write as x approaches 1, u is also going to approach 1. So now, the next step after we have this is now to change this expression to now have it in terms of u. And so rewriting the limit, we're going to have limit as u approaches 1 of, so we're now going to replace this x to the power of 1 over 6 and replace it with u. So it's going to become u minus 1 over, so now the x is going to become u to the power of 6. Okay, so replacing the x with u to the power of 6 minus 1. Okay, so we have an expression in terms of u now, which is similar to this expression. Now, this expression is easier to work with because we're able to factor the bottom. And so you may notice that this is a difference of cubes. Okay, so just a reminder that the equation for a difference of cubes is a cubed minus b cubed is equal to a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. So in this case, what we have is we have that a in this case is going to be u squared, and b is 1. So we can now rewrite this as, we still have u minus 1 on top. This is now going to look like u squared to the power of 3 minus 1 to the power of 3, that's still 1. So I'm going to go along and factor this. So equals, so limit as u approaches 1, u minus 1 on top. So on the bottom, I'm going to get u squared minus 1 times u to the power of 4, because I have to square the a. So a in this case is u squared. So if I square it, I'm going to get u to the power of 4 plus u squared times 1. That's just u squared. And b squared, which is, so b is 1, so 1 squared, so plus 1. Okay, so after this, I'm going to continue to work with this. So this u squared minus 1 is factorable, so I'm going to factor it. So limit as u approaches 1, u minus 1 over, so u minus 1 times u plus 1. So it's a difference of squares. And u to the power of 4 plus u squared plus 1. So now what we have is we have u minus 1 on top, and we also have u minus 1 on the bottom. And so what we can do is we can cancel the u minus 1. And what we're going to get is we're going to have limit as u approaches 1. And now we're going to have 1 over u plus 1 times u to the power of 4 plus u squared plus 1. And now what we can do is now we can try direct substitution. So if we try direct substitution in this case, what we're going to have is we're going to have 1 on top. So putting 1 into u here, we're going to get 2. So 1 plus 1 is 2. And then putting 1 into here, so 1 to the power of 4 is 1. 1 to the power of 2 is 1, and then plus 1. That's going to give us 3. And what we're going to get is we're going to get 1 over 6. Okay, so the value of the limit in this case, the limit approaches 1 over 6. Okay, so in the next video, I'm going to take a look at another problem similar to this one, which will also deal with changing the variable in order to evaluate a limit. Thank you for watching.